Hey guys, it's Carmen and James. Who's supposed to say and James?
No, it's the Eaglemans.
Just
there yet.
waiting
Ow.
for people to jump on. So if you're on, let us know you're on. Say hi, hit the like button, let us know you're here. Hi Amanda. Hi Myrna. Hi James.
Hey, James joined us. Hi James.
Just waiting to give people a chance to jump on. Yay! Hi Patrick. I already said hi to Amanda. Hi Kat. Hi Chad. How is your guys' day going today? Mondays are our busy days. We do grocery shopping. We do lots of errands, running around to kind of get the week started. Hi Uncle Ray. If you guys are on, comment, let us know you're here. Say hi, don't be shy. Give it just a little bit longer. 7:31. Hi Alyssa. How's it going? Thank you guys for jumping on live. We're excited to do our marriage talk again tonight. Hi Kat. Is Ryan with you too, Kat? Is he sitting next to you? Hi Alyssa. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Hey Darlene, I get to squeeze you in less than 2 weeks. I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun. Actually less than 2 weeks, yeah, like a week. Hi Janine, how's it going, girl? All right, so this is our second live. Last week we talked about expectations, right? Hi, Holly. And tonight we're going to talk about divorce and more about kind of the word divorce and how that's played a huge part in James and I's marriage from the very beginning. No, go have Jonah help you, baby. Sorry, Harper. You want to say hi? Okay, very carefully you can say hi really quick. Say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Okay, go play with Bea. Go, baby. So when James and I got married, we set some ground rules, and the biggest one being divorce, right? The biggest rule, kind of the biggest, ground rule, kind of being about divorce and about the word divorce.
Yeah, it's a big thing, and we kind of, again, it comes back to going back into being the scripture and things like that. So I'm going to read a verse kind of real quick. It was Matthew 10:6. And it actually says that Jesus said, from the beginning of the creation, God made them male and female. And for this reason a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife. And the two shall become one flesh. So they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore what God has joined together, let not man separate. And that's just kind of something that really, we like to try to base off for our marriage. And when we got together, as you guys already know, Carmen and I got married. She was 19, I was 21. We were just babies, and we were in that process of developing ourselves and trying to develop as a husband and wife as well. Especially in today's age, it's pretty difficult. Divorce is such a high rate. From what I heard, one statistic is something like 50% of marriages actually end in divorce. That's not very good odds, especially when you're getting married so young and we're trying to establish ourselves and grow together and grow as individuals. So it was getting married at such a young age definitely made us hesitant, but also made us excited at the same time, so we can experience that growth with each other. Anyways, so my wife, she definitely didn't want to get married at the young age. You know,
It wasn't my plan. God clearly had different ones. I was a little shocked when James wanted to get married so young. So.
Yep. There's definitely a little stumble in that actually when we first got together.
That's for a different day.
Yeah. So. A lot of people get divorced for a lot of reasons. You know, they say that they fell out of love, or you know, the person's changed, husband's changed, wife's changed, they've grown apart. You know, and that type of stuff does happen. I mean, you know, a lot of people have a tendency to you know, live where it's, you know, if the marriage is broken, you know, let's get rid of it. We're going to start a new chapter. That's just something that we didn't want to establish in our marriage when we first got together. It's just not where we wanted it to go. So,
yeah, James and I knew that being young and having to grow up and together in a relationship was going to be hard. It was going to be tough, right? So we took, when I say the word divorce or divorce, we took that off the table. Simply put, it was not an option for us. And so what does that look like to us? That means no matter how bad our relationship got, no matter through the fights, through the trials, and those of you who've been married, or even, I mean, I don't think there's really any length of time for you to go through trials. Some people can have really bad trials in their first year, just depending on where they're at, or, you know, obviously the longer you're married, the more trials you have, right? But it just meant that divorce was never a solution for us. It was never an option. It was also not something to use as a weapon. And what I mean by that is when you're going through those hard times, to not use it as a word to throw around when you're fighting, right? When you're like, because you can have those fights, right? Like that you just feel like maybe the ground that you don't have firm ground on being able to express how you're feeling, or you guys are just butting heads really bad. It's a really bad fight, and you want to say, okay, fine, forget it, then leave. Or maybe this isn't working out, or maybe we should get a divorce. So that's what I mean by using it as a weapon. We took that option off the table. And why? Why did we take that off? I mean, it kind of seems like a no-brainer, but why did we take that? From the very beginning, before we were even married and said I do, we both committed and understood that divorce was never an option, and that it was not something that we would ever use against one another. And why? Because you allow the devil to create a foothold in your marriage, to use through hurt or anger or discouragement. Once you say that, like you guys know, right? When you say words, it's so much harder you can't take that away. You can't forget that. And so when you use the word divorce, it creates that doubt in the other person's mind. It creates, it hurts. It creates anger, disappointment, discouragement. And you kind of think like, well, wow, does he not want to be with me? Does she not really love me? Is she not going to be here through thick and thin with me when it gets hard? Is she going? Yes, you sure can't take that hurt back. That's right, Tammy. So that's something that we have just, it's degrading. Divorce, the word divorce, using it as a weapon, is degrading to your marriage, and gives you the perception that there's an easier solution because if things don't work out, right? Does anyone agree? Like, have you guys used that or felt that way? Maybe you've used that word in the past as a weapon in your marriage, or other hurt words. I mean, other, mean words. Does that resonate with anyone?
I mean, even for me, personally, we've had some fights. I mean, she's Puerto Rican. We've had some fights, and some of these fights, I've walked away, going to the other room or going to watch TV or whatever the case may be. I sit there and I was like, man, Are we gonna get a divorce? But I never voiced that. I never brought that up. It's just something I would think in my head, and I would go back onto it. And I'd lift it up to God. I put it in prayer, and I pray about taking that out of my mind, because I know the devil's trying to attack me at that point, because I'm at a real, low point, essentially, if you will, that kind of puts you in a struggle, and you just got to bring it before God and just say, hey, why am I thinking this? Is this of me? Is this of the devil? Or is this of you showing me something? And he always...
Or just allowing the devil to whisper those thoughts into your head, right? And to like take hold and to let it to create something inside of you, right? To take a hold of you. Yes, Tammy, you have to go into a marriage and accept that it's going to be difficult. And even going in, even us knowing, that it's going to be hard, that we're facing challenges, especially as a young couple growing up, it still is sometimes easier said than done. And I feel like setting that ground rule, even if it's not something you set beforehand, but today, now, right now, saying this is something that we're no longer going to do, that we're in it for the long haul. So what has that done for our marriage?
Huh?
What has that done for our marriage? It's caused us to fight for it.
Yeah, it really has. I mean, it really makes us, again, we have those fights, I go to the next room, but it makes, we calm down, we come back, and we talk about it. We have to keep that line of communication open. That's a big thing about it. Mm-hmm. I think something we always can definitely improve upon is not only come back and talking to each other about it, but again, coming back to the fact that we pray and,
mm-hmm.
and get into the Word with the Lord to see where we're going and why this fight may have happened in the first place. You're going to have unhappy moments in marriage. It's just, like Tammy was saying, it's nothing's easy. You have to fight for what's the most important things in the world. When I was going through my training for my career, that was not easy. That was incredibly difficult, not only for me just physically, mentally, but it was for the family. Mm-hmm. And when it comes to anything in our lives, if it's worth having, then it's worth fighting for. And marriage is extremely worth having. You get to marry your best friend. There's nothing better than that. And to get to live your life with that person is amazing. You just don't want to let it go down that path and continue to use those types of words or those types of things where you're living your life like you feel like you're living with a roommate. Mm-hmm. You don't want to go that route. You don't want to feel like you're living with a roommate, because that's not our marriage. That's not what a marriage is. You're not living with your roommate.
So what James is talking about was like, so when you take divorce off the table, what does that leave? It either leaves a great marriage, right? Like you fighting for it and working for it every single day. Or it can lead, if you don't put anything into it, like some people can stay married. They can stay together for 40, 50 years. But are they happy? Are they great? Like don't settle for just a mediocre marriage. That's not what it's meant. That's not what God wanted for us, right? And so that's what James is talking about when he says not living as roommates. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to live with a roommate. I want to live with my best friend. I want to live with the man who pursued me before marriage and still pursues me. And I'm pretty sure that you want to live with a woman who pursues you, right? Mm-hmm. Who knows that he's still sexy as heck. I still find him very attractive. I think it's sexy watching him as a father with our girls, and just loving on him for who he is, and pursuing him. So we want to enjoy each other. We want to laugh. We want to have fun, not only at the beginning of our marriage, but at the end of our marriage, right? All the way through, no matter what happens, no matter what is going on. So this causes taking divorce off the table, taking it off like it's not an option, causes us to fight, because the only other two options would either be have a great marriage or live as roommates. And living as roommates to me is having a dead marriage. Like it's not, you might as well be divorced, right? So this causes us to fight for one another, causes us to fight even when we cannot stand each other. When you're in one of those trials and one of those fights in your marriage where you're distant and you just, you don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, how do you get back there? It forces you to get back on the same page. Or at least it has for us so far. I mean, we've had a couple of trials in our marriage where it's gone that way, and it just makes us come back. So what do you think? Does this, like I asked, does this resonate with any of you? Is that something new? Is that something that kind of had an aha moment for you? What do you think about tonight's topic?
Good thing you brought up, Tammy, is, obviously you go through those trials and tribulations, it's gonna make you stronger. You're always gonna grow. And you're gonna grow for the better. You're gonna learn things about yourself and about your spouse. So I'm not encouraging fighting, but if you're going to fight, make sure you learn from it.
And don't let this one fool you. I may be Puerto Rican, but he is definitely strong-willed as well and can hold his own. I always tell people I definitely would not marry someone that I could walk all over. He knows how to, he definitely knows how to handle me and fight with me. Oh, we love you too, Tammy. I'm glad that it's helping. We want to be honest in what's worked for us.
And what's worked for you guys too. I mean, don't hesitate. I mean, Tammy's being really good advice.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to see that. That's the big thing too, it's for all of us. I mean, this is for us as much as it is for everyone else we're talking to.
All right, guys. I know we're a little bit behind. We're on a little bit of a delay. Kind of stinks about the lives, right? So it takes a second to catch up. But if any of you guys have any comments or questions, leave them down below in the comments, and we will definitely answer and get back to them. If it's something that's personal and you want a private message, please reach out to us. We would love to chat. We would love to give you some encouragement, some support, and maybe it's a situation that we've encountered in our marriage and we can talk or delve into. Divorce, Sandra said, divorce comes too easy nowadays. People give up too easily. Always remember why you marry each other. Yeah, exactly. I think we're kind of in a day and age where, things, if it's something that's broken, we just throw it out because we go and get something new, right? And people kind of correlate that with marriage. Like, they find whatever reason. We jumped into it too fast. We didn't really know each other. We've changed. I'm not in love with her anymore. And I definitely do think there can be moments where you can go in and out of love. But that doesn't mean that God can't turn it around if you allow him and if you fight for it. It definitely takes work. Lee and I have had some rough patches, but we never gave up on each other. And as a result, we have a stronger marriage. Yes, I 100% agree with that, Crystal. That is definitely... for James and I, I think both of us can kind of remember in our marriage the points, like the pivotal moments where we've had fights and kind of where it's changed us for the better because we held on, because we did not let go when we fought for it. And kids was one of them. When we had Harper, she was an easy kid, but just that change in our relationship, it was definitely something that we had to kind of adjust and learn how to come back to each other and not make the kids the center of our relationship. So how do you guys deal with the scuffles when James is at work and not able to communicate? That's happened a few times when I'm flying flight at night. That's a hard one. We've definitely...
Why aren't you answering your phone?
We've definitely had one. There's definitely been some inopportune crashes or DUI arrests or things like that where we've been on the phone. Personally, on my side, it's something that that I can remember we wait until we get home. It does allow us to give us some time to kind of sit and think. My biggest thing, too, which I'm sure that Amanda thinks about Patrick, is because his job is dangerous, I try not to bring up a lot of conflict when he's on the job because they don't want him thinking about what's going on with us. And not having his attention on what needs to be done. But that's not real life, right? Like, it happens. So I would just say the minute that you can come back and communicate, like I said, it does give us time to kind of sit and think about and pray about. And we're usually pretty good about coming back and being like, okay, one of us will extend the olive branch, and that'll get the talking going. Sometimes that happens again when he's able to talk, and sometimes it has to wait until he gets home. Sometimes it goes a little bit longer than we would like, depending on what we're fighting about and if we're being stubborn. But eventually we do come back to it. But it does make it hard when the other spouse has a job that keeps them from being able to actually talk and communicate, especially when it's something serious, right? Like, you want to be like he said, there's been a couple times when I've been extremely annoyed that I can't get a hold of him, even though I understand why I can't. It doesn't make me feel better. So I would say that's that. Do you have anything to add to that? I think that's how we deal with it, right?
Yeah, for the most part.
We just kind of get back to it as soon as we can. So.
Or I just stay at work a lot longer.
Yeah. So, you're so funny. You're such a dork. I'm just scrolling back to see some of the comments. Tammy said, people don't want to work for anything anymore. Their own health, for goodness sakes. Work ethic is non-existent in all areas. It's so frustrating. And it is. I mean, I think it's something that, like I said, in today's day and age, it's kind of onto the new thing, right? Like a quick fix mentality. And that's not any different than in our marriages that people have. And like James said previously, anything worth having is worth fighting for. But you have to remember that in the moment, because it's easier to say that right now. But when we're mad and we're frustrated and you're hurt and you just feel like you're right and he's feeling the same way, like, how do you come back together? And for us, that's God. God is the foundation of our relationship. And I honestly don't think that we would have a great marriage if we didn't have God at the, like a truly great marriage, if we didn't have God as our foundation. So I think that's
good
all
questions.
the comments.
Thanks
Yeah.
for comments and questions.
And thanks for you guys' input. I love, like he said, I love hearing about other marriages. I mean, we're not the only ones. 12 years in the whole scheme of things is not very long. So we love hearing other people's input. So, all right.
Good deal, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for joining us live tonight. Again, next Monday at 7:30, we will be going live again, right before I fly out to New Orleans. Woo woo! So excited about that, and to see my BB family. Yes, Sandra, I get to squeeze you too. I'm so excited. So if you have any questions, or you're jumping on late and catching this and we're a little bit more delayed, post your comments down below, like I said, or you can reach out to us personally. Until then, we will see you next week. Thanks for joining in live with us, guys. Have a great night.